Hey guys, Border here, Scripted Gaming and the Great Axe Club, and welcome to another video.
Some people think the Great Axe is a brain-dead weapon, an unskillful amateur-hour face-roll option of weaponry. You wanna know what I think? I see a Great Axe. A full-size 4x4 Jeep Wrangler Transforma Giga Chad Alpha Male. We're not just spinning to win, we're out here mowing the grass of the battlefield, chopping down every peasant in sight, and weed whacking like we're getting paid for it. So the next time you pick up a Great Axe, just know you're not just choosing a weapon, you're choosing a goddamn lifestyle. Welcome to the Great Axe Club. Welcome to Scripted Gaming.
Hey guys, Border here, and welcome back to another video. This is episode 3 of the journey to 700 Spec. In case you're just joining in on this journey, we started a brand new series where we'll be leveling each axe up to 100 Spec. So, to get you caught up, with episode 1 we leveled the battle axe all the way up to 100, followed by the halberd in episode 2, and today will be episode 3 using the carrying collar all the way up to 100 Spec. So I'll be linking episode 1 and 2 in the video description below to get you guys all caught up. And since we'll be using the carrying collar today, I thought it'd only be right for today's giveaway to be a tier 8 carrying collar. So if you want a chance to win this prize, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment your in-game name in the comments below, and I'll be picking a winner 1 week from now in the Discord. But with that introduction out of the way, it's time for episode 3 of the journey to 700 Spec. I hope you enjoy. Alright, to get us started, we will be farming in the Avalonian Roads today. But before we head out, let's take a real quick look at our build. So here we have our tier 6 carrying collar. I will be using Rending Rage, but if you don't have it, that's okay. You can still use Rending Spin, great for AoEing down those big groups of mobs. For our W, we'll also be using Raging Blades, great AoE damage and increased damage, but if you don't have that, that's okay. You can always use Adrenaline Boost, also a very strong option. And we're just going to be using the first passive. Moving on to the helmet, we will be using Scholar Cowl for Energy Shield. It's going to help us stay high in energy for that sustain, and that will be paired with the first passive. Next up we have, again, from the previous episodes, Mercenary Jacket, Bloodlust, great for self-healing, just what we're going to need for farming those mobs, and that will also be paired with the first passive. Moving on to our boots, we have Soldier Boots, and we're actually going to be speccing Wanderlust, just in case we need to make a quick escape from enemy players, and that will be paired with the second passive. Moving on, we have our cape. Again, just like last episode, a budget, regular cape here. Don't need anything like an undead cape, as our build is relatively cheap to purchase, so just a regular cape will do the job, 4.1 if you want. And next up, we have our invisibility potions. Again, we are farming fame for the most part, so we are going to be avoiding fights, so this will be a more passive option, so for that, invisibility potions. And last but not least, we have the cabbage soup, increasing our health regen out of combat in between pulls to get our health up so we can pull the next group of mobs quicker. So the current price for this build at the moment with this tier of gear is 105k silver, a little bit more expensive than last video, but at the same time I feel like Avalonian Roads mobs are a little bit more beefier, plus you run into less players on the road, so I'm quite comfortable bringing in this set of gear. One last thing before we head out, we'll be earning bonus fame in this video by 2 different ways. Number 1 is through the Knight's Vow buff, which will increase our combat fame by 2%, which can be obtained through the Conqueror's Challenge, as you can see here. And method number 2 is through auto respec, giving us more combat fame at the exchange for silver. So just keep in mind this does cost a fair bit of silver, so only do so if you have enough to spare. But with that all out of the way, let's head into the Avalonian Roads. Sup guys, Border here. We are in the Black Zone looking for our first portal into the Avalonian Roads. Since some of you may be new to the roads or new to Albion in general, we'll start this episode with some Avalonian Roads Knowledge 101 just to get ourselves started. So the first thing you should know about Avalonian Roads is you need a portal to get there. These portals spawn in blue, yellow, red, and black zones, but once in the roads themselves, they are black zones, so full loot PvP, so keep that in mind. Once you find a portal, it'll be one of 2 colors. This one, for example, is blue, with a maximum player capacity of 7 players before the portal needs to recharge. The other portal you'll see is a yellow portal with a maximum player capacity of 20. Next up, I want to help you guys identify what road you'll be entering by understanding what these markings mean on the rings of each portal. So let's start with the outer ring, this one right here. So the outer ring represents the layout of the road that you'll be traveling into. So this one, for example, is an Avalonian corridor. This is a simple road that has a few portals that lead into other Avalonian roads, and also has monsters and resources. Next up we have the middle ring, which is used to identify the tier of road that you'll be traveling into. So this one, for example, will have max resources of tier 6. And last but not least, we have the inner ring, which is used to identify the recommended number of players for the road. So this one, for example, has 2 markings, which means it is recommended that you have a medium-sized group for the road. For those looking to study and understand these markings a little bit more, I'll be linking the Avalonian Codex in the video description below. As for the map itself, let's quickly learn what the icons mean. So this portal here is a portal to another road, and you'll know that because the name of the road is very strange. Whereas this portal here is a portal to another zone. We also have resources that we can farm. As you can see, there's a cluster of wood here, and over here you'll likely find clusters of stone. And then we have the reason we're here, the Avalonian chests. These represent camps that we can farm. The Avalonian chests that are green recommend solo content, whereas the blue chests recommend group content. There's also an icon we're not seeing on this map, and that is a Avalonian dungeon. But if we find another road that contains that dungeon, I'll be sure to show you guys that. So now that we have those little tips, let's go farm some roads. Alrighty, coming up on our first green chest here, a nice little solo camp. Another way you can tell what kind of zone you're in terms of tier, you can just look at the mobs. So these, for example, are tier 6. So we're going to take these guys down for fame, and hopefully we get a decent amount. They do have quite a bit of health in terms of tier 6, but that's okay. Hopefully it's all worth it. 31k fame, 28k fame per mob. We're off to a good start. Let's keep it going. So far I am liking the build we chose. It has quite a bit of sustain, so this is gonna get us... Oh, there is another player here. Might have cleared out the camp, might have not, we'll find out. It's important to note that these scout drones actually spawn more drones, so it's important to kill them fast just like I did there, just so you don't have to deal with duplicates. Alright, so we're approaching the spot where the camp might have had its chest. Looks like it is open, and it's mostly cleared out. So that's the only issue. Other players can come and take the chest, and they will need to respawn, but that's okay. We still got a pretty good amount of fame from the mobs leading up to the chest, but hopefully we can find some more solo chests of our own elsewhere. Alright, we are approaching another camp here. Looks like this camp will have a different set of mobs, which is nice. You guys can see a little bit of a variety of what's out there. As you can see, I did a pretty bad job destroying these mobs that duplicate, and this is the punishment for doing so. So definitely kill those scout drones as soon as you can. Alright, bit of a dicey pull here, but we did get the scout down pretty fast, so that's going to make life easier for us. Definitely want to dodge these big ground and pounds that they do. Does a lot of damage if you get hit. Just like, yeah, like so. And there we go, another 56k fame, and a Tome of Insight. Alrighty guys, it's time for the boss. One thing to notice, we have switched to Adrenaline Rush for our W. Just more value, single target, whereas Raging Blades is better for AoE. But we'll see how good we can do on this boss. After having struggled with some of these bosses with my current IP, I realized that my current tier of build just wasn't going to cut it. So I head back into town and I regroup with a set of 6.1 gear and go out and try again. There we go. 250,000 fame from that boss. Not bad, not bad. Tome of Insight and a uncommon chest. Let's see what we get. Hopefully something good. 75k silver. Alright, not off to a bad start. With that amount of fame, can't complain. Alrighty, after clearing out that boss, I did see that there were mobs here. Instead of just skipping to the next camp, we are going to clear these out pretty thoroughly, just because it's a lot of fame not to get, so we're going to clear these out. and then we'll make our way over to the other camp. Alright, moving on to the next camp here, next solo chest nearby. I did scout it out. There is a large amount of mobs to be cleared, but you know what, that's okay. More fame for us. Alright guys, we have cleared the rest of the camp mobs and are about to face the boss, Avalonian Knight, sitting a little over 11k health. So we'll see how this goes. This boss is sitting right below an actual portal, so in my books this is actually a little bit sketchy. But you know what, I think this is a rare chest, so you know what, I'm going to risk it and take him down as fast as I can. Nice thing about Rending Rage here, I can queue him just outside of that projectile, which is always nice. Here we go, this boss is almost down. Just a couple more hits. There we go, 600k fame for boss, very nice. 3 Tomes of Insight on top of that, and a rare chest. Let's see what we get. 180k silver, very, very nice. Alright guys, so with that we are sitting a little bit above 400k silver. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to town, deposit the loot, and then we're going to come back and do more roads. Alright guys, we have made it back into town safe and sound, and just like episode 1 and 2, we're going to keep a separate bank tab for everything we earn on this episode. So we're going to transfer that all the way over to our second bank tab, and then once we're done that, we're going to head back out into the roads and farm some more. Alrighty, and we have cleared all the way up to the boss here. Only a common quality chest behind him, but that's okay. Still probably going to be worth it in terms of fame, and hopefully get some decent loot. Alrighty, so this boss was a fair bit easier. Still 94k fame though, we like that. Common chest, here we go. Nah, still 73k silver. We'll definitely take it. Alright guys, we have arrived in a new road, and as you can see there's quite a bit of solo chests out there, so we're going to roam around. Hopefully they're still up, and we're going to see what we can do. So, call me crazy, but I think we might have found a new gang spot. What do you think? Will they see us coming? Alrighty guys, we have cleared this camp all the way up into the boss, and what do you know, another Avalonian Knight. Over 13k health on this guy, and a rare quality chest behind him. So let's see if we can do this. Alrighty, almost done this boss. One more queue, couple more queues. There we go, over 1 million fame for one boss. Insane. And rare quality chest. Let's see what we get. 340k silver, very, very nice. Was it worth it? I'd say so. After spending some more time in the Avalonian Roads, farming camps and bosses, we were successfully able to spec up our carrying collar all the way to 100, finishing it off with our combat fame credits. At the end of our venture, our bank tab had 23 Tomes of Insight, which is worth 230,000 fame, while we also earned just under 1.1 million silver. And this time, I remembered to move the webcam so you guys can see. So here you go. But with the carrying collar spec'd all the way up to 100, that concludes episode 3 of the journey to 700 spec. But the journey doesn't end here, so be sure to tune in next episode when we level up the bear paws all the way up to spec 100 using different fame farming methods. Otherwise, that about does it for me. So, if you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you gave it a like and considered subscribing to the channel. But until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the Discord.